Find out what is happening at the library, from virtual programming to fun new services. Hear recommendations on books, movies, TV shows, and so much more. This is In the Stacks at Mustang Library.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Scottsdale Public Library. Today we're going to talk about what is the most common question that we get asked by customers in the library, and that is, what do I read next? Well, we're going to try to tackle that problem and show you some of the tools that we use and actually how you can learn how to do it yourself. One of the tools that we use to answer that question is a database called NoveList Plus, and it is available for public use as well. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in and show you a tutorial on how you can learn how to use it yourself. To begin, we want to go ahead and navigate to the home page for Scottsdale Public Library, and that is scottsdalelibrary.org. This is what our home page looks like, and we're just going to navigate about a quarter way down the page and look for this database box right over here to the right. We're going to click on that, and this will bring us to all of our research links, which are arranged by category, and we're going to be looking for the literature box, which has the book on it. So click on that, and we're going to be using the NoveList Plus database, which is located about halfway down the page. We'll click on that. This will bring us to the sign-in page, and this is where you are required to put in your library card number. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll go ahead and log in, and this will bring us to the home page for NoveList Plus. And since we're going to keep this really simple today, there is a lot of information on this page, but we're just going to concentrate on the search bar up here at the top. So let's go ahead and do an author search and find some author read-alikes for James Patterson. So we're going to change this keyword by clicking on the arrow and changing it to author, and then we're going to type in James Patterson. And this search box is a lot like Google. It'll try to guess what you're looking for, and it did. So we'll click on James Patterson, and the results are, there are actually two James Patterson. So how do we know which one we want? Well, if we read a little bit about it, this first one says the most popular book is Mary Mary, and the most popular series is Alex Cross novels, which that is the one we are looking for. Second one doesn't really have very much information. So we're going to go ahead and click on number 1. And just a little bit about James Patterson will pop up. It'll list a lot of his books. If you page down, it goes on forever and ever because he has quite the library. But what we're interested in is actually the read-alikes, which are located over here to the right. And here they will list several authors. So, for example, we have Jonathan Kellerman, we have Jeffrey Deaver, we have Greg Iles, Bill O'Reilly. If you click on the View All, that'll open up another page which gives a nice print-out listing of all the authors and why they feel they are similar in style to James Patterson. So if you click on the print button, it'll open up your print box and it'll allow you to print. So we're going to go ahead and cancel out of that. We're going to hit the back button, and we're going to look for a title read-alike this time. So we're going to change this keyword to title, and let's type in a novel that was very popular, and that is Where the Crawdads Sing. And right away, it guesses what I'm typing in, so we're going to click on Where the Crawdads Sing. And this will bring up several books that they feel are similar to Where the Crawdads Sing. It does give the book cover, gives a little bit about the book. If you page down, it'll also give you reviews. But again, what we're looking for are read-alikes. So over here to the right, just a couple of things about how this is shown. If you hover over one of the books, it'll open up another box, and it'll give you a little bit about that book. It'll also give you the reason that they feel it is similar in style to Where the Crawdads Sing. Another thing it'll give is the copies. Since we are using Scottsdale Public Library, this database is connected to our catalog. So if you click on View Copies below the book, this says View Copies 3. If I click on it, it's going to pop up and it's going to tell me how many copies are available in each of the different formats. And if you want to place a hold on one of these, you just click on the Go To Catalog and it'll open in another box and it'll allow you to log into your account and place a hold on one of them. So that's really handy. Again, if you hit View All, it'll give you a nice page which lists all the titles and why they feel they are similar to Where the Crawdads Sing. So once again, let's go back and we're going to click on one more thing we're going to search for is a series read-alike. And one of the series that I really like are the Joe Pickett books by C.J. Box. So it has guessed that I am looking for the Joe Pickett novels, and that is correct. So we'll click on that. And when the results come up, it'll actually list all the Joe Pickett books chronologically. So this is really handy, especially if you don't know which one you're on or which one to read next. So again, off to the right, it's going to give you read-alikes, which are series read-alikes. If you hover over them, it'll tell you, well, this is a Kevin Kearney mystery. This is, the reason it's similar to Joe Pickett is because it includes the Western U.S. and they both solve environmental mysteries, and that is definitely the case. So that is very similar. Again, if you go to View All, it'll allow you to look at all of the different series read-alikes, and you can print from there. So the last thing I'm going to show you is one more search option, and this is especially handy, especially if you are a big audiobook listener like I am. So let's change this keyword to narrator, and I'm going to search for one of the favorite people that I like that reads the books, and that is David Chandler. And if I type his name in, it's going to actually bring up all the books that he has read for. So there he is. Let's click on him. He's read all of C.J. Box's books, and it will list them. If I keep going down, there's some other books that I didn't even know he read for. For example, Desolation Mountain, which is by William Kent Kruger. So that's a really good, actually, read-alike for me. It's a Cork O'Connor Mysteries. It's number 17 in the series. If you read a lot of audiobooks, and actually listening to an audiobook is reading, in fact, you know that a narrator can actually make or break it. I know it definitely does for me. So that's a really good way to search for your favorite narrator. So that's just a few of the ways that you can use NoveList Plus to get your own read-alikes. And I hope that you learned something today, and I encourage you to try this out for yourself. And now it's time for a book review.
Today's Goodreads staff review is for Well Met by Jen DeLuca. Emily, or Emma, her Renaissance Fair character, is new in town helping her sister and niece after a horrible car accident. She gets sucked into volunteering at the local Renaissance Fair so that her niece can participate. There she finds fun, friends, and a hot pirate captain. And did I mention men in kilts? Can Emily overcome her own self-doubt and find a new life in this small town? You'll have to read this light-hearted, fun, sometimes sizzling escape of a book to find out. Thank you to Jennifer Kay for that Goodreads staff review. And be sure to check out the other titles in this series, Well Played, and the upcoming title, Well Matched. Have you already read and loved this title? Here are some read-alikes. The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. Olive Torres is used to being the unlucky twin. From inexplicable mishaps to a recent layoff, her life seems to be almost comically jinxed. By contrast, her sister Amy is an eternal champion, She even managed to finance her entire wedding by winning a slew of contests. Unfortunately for Olive, the only thing worse than constant bad luck is having to spend the wedding day with the best man and her nemesis, Ethan Thomas. Olive braces herself for the wedding, determined to put on a brave face, but when the entire wedding party gets food poisoning, the only people who aren't affected are Olive and Ethan. Suddenly, there's a free honeymoon up for grabs, and Olive can't let Ethan enjoy paradise solo. Agreeing to a temporary truce, the pair head for Maui. After all, 10 days of bliss are worth having to assume the role of loving newlyweds, right? But the weird thing is, Olive doesn't mind playing pretend. In fact, the more she pretends to be the luckiest woman alive, the more it feels like she might be. 80 Days to Elsewhere by K.C. Dyer. Born and raised in New York City, Ramona Keene dreams of attending photography school and traveling to Paris. But her reality never quite catches up with her imagination. Instead, she works at her uncle's quaint bookstore where the tea is plentiful and all the adventures are between the covers of secondhand books. But when the new landlord arrives with his evil nephew in tow, Romy's quiet life comes crashing down. He plans to triple the rent, something her uncles can't afford. In order to earn the money to help save the bookstore, Romy applies for a job at Ex Libris Expeditions, a company that recreates literary journeys. Romy snags the oddest internship ever. Retrace Phileas Fogg's journey from Jules Verne's Around the World in 80 Days and plan a suitable, contemporary adventure for her client. The task is close to impossible. Sticking to the original route means no commercial aircraft permitted, and she's got a lot less than 80 days to work with. Shaking off her fear of leaving home, Romy takes on the challenge, only to discover she's got competition. Worse, Dominic Madison turns out to be the unfortunately hot nephew of her family's worst enemy. Can Romy win the race and circle the globe in time to save the bookstore? And what happens when she starts to fall for the very person who may just be the death of her dreams? We Met in December by Rosie Curtis. 2 people, 1 house, a year that changes everything. 29-year-old Jess is following her dream and moving to London. It's December, and she's taking a room in a crumbling but grand Notting Hill house share with 4 virtual strangers. On her first night, Jess meets Alex, the guy sharing her floor, at a Christmas dinner hosted by her landlord. They don't kiss, but as far as Jess is concerned, the connection is clear. She starts planning how they will knock down the wall between them to spend more time together. But when Jess returns from a 2-week Christmas holiday, she finds Alex has started dating someone else, beautiful Emma, who lives on the floor above them. Now, Jess faces a year of bumping into the man of her dreams and the woman of his. All of these titles can be found in our catalog at scottsdalelibrary.org. If you are looking for more reviews, visit our page on Goodreads under Scottsdale Public Library.